kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. It's to talk about Christ's return. Now Daniel was grieved in his spirit. The visions troubled him. And basically it talks about in 17 through 26 of it's the four kingdoms which the beast was. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdoms forever, even forever and ever. And then it talks again too about the beast, the little horn, and it says he made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came. And judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. And then it goes on about the 10 horns. And then the little horn will speak great things against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and to think to changing times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time, and times, and a dividing of times. But the judgment shall see it, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion of the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Hitherto is the end of the matter of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cogitations much troubled me, and my countenance changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart. So this is talk about a futuristic of Christ's return and the things that happen before he returns. The little horn out of Rome. Could be an antichrist, physical antichrist. Could be something spiritual. I don't know. I mean, people has their perceptions on things and their ideas of what is going to happen, and we really don't know. So he has another vision of a goat and a ram and a little horn. The ram is Persia, and the goat is Greece. It'll be broken down into 4 kingdoms. And the latter time of that kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. Now this is, he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper, and practice, and shall destroy the mighty in the holy place. He'll even stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Okay, now this person is going to stand up against Christ, the prince of princes. Now this one is coming out of Greece, but the other one is coming out of Rome. So after this vision, Daniel fainted sick. He was sick for certain days. He was astonished, and no one could understand it. And then he remembered what Jeremiah's prophecy about the 70 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. So he remembers that. And then, of course, Cyrus makes a decree, and Ezra rebuilds the temple, and Nehemiah rebuilds the walls of Jerusalem. So now Daniel's praying, and as he was praying, the man Gabriel, whom he had seen in the visions at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me. And he talked to him, and he told him he's going to give him understanding concerning the visions. And he told him 70 weeks are determined on the people, and upon the holy city to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make a reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision of the prophets and prophecy, and anoint the most holy. So now he tells him part of the 70 weeks. They're going to rebuild Jerusalem, which they did. Ezra and Nehemiah rebuilt it, but of course the temple was destroyed. And to the Messiah shall be 7 weeks. Even in troubled times. It says, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks, and 62 weeks, and the street shall be built again in the walls, even in troubled times. And then he says, and after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself, and for the people of the Prince that shall come to destroy this and to destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined. So Christ was born, he was crucified. It talks about someone else coming to destroy the city. He'll confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblations to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate, even unto the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. So it's going to be a man or somebody or something that's going to make a covenant with many and then break the covenant. So now after all this vision, he was troubled and mourning. He didn't eat. He's in mourning for 3 weeks. He ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in his mouth. He didn't anoint himself at all till the 3 weeks were fulfilled. So he lifted up his eyes and saw a man in linen and loins girded. And there's an earthquake, and he was alone, for the ones with him ran. And the angel gave him strength and was telling him, he come to make you understand what shall befall thy people in the latter days. For yet the vision is for many days. Now it's talking about befall thy people. So this is talking about the Jews. This is not talking about the Americans. This ain't talking about the Egyptians, not the Russians. It's talking about the Jews. This is determined for the Jews to make the transgression full, to be purged from the land and from their bodies, from their spirit. Then he said, knowest thou wherefore I come unto thee, and now will I return to fight with the prince of Persia, and when I am gone forth, lo, the prince of Grecia shall come. But I'll show you that which is noted in the scripture of truth, and there is none that holdeth with me in these things but Michael your prince. So now get this is a deep thought too. Gabriel is going to fight against the kingdom of Persia. So now Persia is fixing to be stripped, and the Greece is coming into line and taking over and becoming a mighty ruler. And the angel is helping them. So you think about military wars and all that. Do you think men is doing that themselves and overcoming other nations by war by themselves? Or does angels play a factor in military warfare? As well as spiritual warfare, but so then he sees that there's going to be like 3 kings in Persia, and then the 4th one will be richer, and then Greece will set their eyes to them and go destroy them. And it talks about Greece being divided into 4 kingdoms. They'll have their dominion, and then they'll be broke up and divided, which you look at their history, they was. Then it goes on to Egypt and Syria, and of course they was at war for a long time, and then in the end Syrians overcame by them. Overcame them. You look at that history of Egypt and Syria. It's in here, and it's on, history books. And then it goes on to the rule of Antiochus Epiphanes. He got in there slick with flatteries, and he ruled. Was ruthless. He persecuted the Jews. Then it goes on through here, and a lot of people think from 21 through 45 is about him. But then you look, and he says, and the king shall do according to his will, and he shall He shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the gods of his father, nor the desire of a woman, nor regard any god, for he shall magnify himself above all. Now, Antiochus Epiphanes, he built a statue of Zeus in the sanctuary and stuff, so he worshipped Zeus. He worshipped the Grecian religion, the sun gods and moon, all that stuff. So this is obviously talking about somebody else. It says, but his estate shall he honor the god of forces. So he's going to like war. He says people's going to push against him, and he'll prosper. He'll overflow and pass over. He'll enter to the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown, but these shall escape out of his hands: Edom, Moab, and Ammon. He'll defeat Egypt. He'll have power over the treasures of gold and silver, and over all precious things of Egypt. And the Ethiopians and Libyans will be at his steps. He said he'll come to his end, and none shall help him. Like I say, this could be talking about somebody else. I mean, you got to look at your history books and all that. I mean, Julius Caesar, he fought against 3 kingdoms and stuff out of the Roman Empire and all that, but he didn't go into the glorious land and all that. Then it says, Michael shall stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time, and that at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Another deep thought. Many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So this makes me wonder, when people die, do they just sleep in the dust, or are they with God? Because it's saying at that time they're going to wake up from the dust. He says, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. But Michael tells Daniel to shut the words up and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Then Daniel's asked him, how long shall it be to the end of these wonders? And the man clothed in linen told him, he said, that shall be for a time, times and a half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard, but I understood not. Then I said, O my Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the end, till the time of the end. Many shall be purified, made white, and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth, and cometh to the 1,330 days. But go thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of the days. It's telling Daniel he'll be in his lot when he's come up from the earth. When he's raised up, after he's asleep, he'll raise up, he'll be in his lot to his inheritance. But until it's sealed up. And you think about that, it says, many shall be purified and made white and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. So when you look at Bible prophecy, everyone has their ideas. Every man has a perception of what's going to happen in the end times. Everyone's opinion. You have books about this way that it'll happen, and books about that way that it'll happen, ideas about this way that it'll happen, and ideas about that way that it'll happen. And it says, and the wise shall understand. So Why do we have so many different wise people with different wise ideas of what's going to happen? Because, once again, I believe the Bible, it says his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. We can't comprehend but so much. We don't know what's going to happen. God has his plan set out. We can't comprehend his plan. So the main thing is God's in control, and we don't know. Because it says the wise will have understanding. And honestly, to me, I think that's a shadow of the literal latter times. I think we're near the latter days, but we're not in them. I believe the latter days will begin when the church is raptured out. Because the thing is, there's time periods, you see. They had prophets before Christ came and was crucified. God spoke directly to the prophets, and they prophesied what was their visions was. You don't have a lot of people these days having visions of what's going to happen, and visions of this and vision of that. You got these fake psychics and stuff, but you don't have real people having visions directly from God. I don't think so. It's my opinion. But I believe the knowledge that he's talking about of fully understanding, and the wise shall understand of what his vision was, is in the latter times when the things are supposed to happen concerning the little horns. But that's my opinion. I don't know. But all I know is God's in control of it all. And as long as he has a hedge around me and protects me, and I put my full trust in him, then I'm covered. And and it says the wicked will do wickedly, which they're doing that now. And the wise shall understand. But understand what? Besides God's grace. And that's the main thing, is God's grace. Because it says, blessed is he that waiteth, and cometh to the 1,330 days. So blessed is he that waiteth. So I honestly believe that part of the wisdom and understanding is in that latter time that's Daniel's prophesied and Michael and him is talking about. I believe that part is in that latter time whenever this is supposed to occur, which it is not occurring now. It hasn't occurred now. Because during that time there's going to be signs and wonders like it was during the Old Testament. See, we're in a period now to where it's not. Things will change. The spiritual atmosphere will change. I'm not limiting God or doubting God, saying God can't give people visions and dreams and do miraculous things with people. But I don't think he's doing it in that form as he was during Daniel's time in these days. But in the latter days, when they come, then those actions and signs of God will be back into form and into play, I believe. That's just me. That's my opinion. I don't want to steer anybody wrong. I don't want to lie and give you false words. That's what a lot of people do these days anyways, give false words. I'm just giving my understanding of what I feel Daniel is talking about. So some of the prophecies, especially the four beasts, those have already came into play. The Roman Empire, it's supposed to be big. That was the fourth beast. Rome's not a big factor in Earth today. China is. China's a big factor. Russia's bumping back up. America's going down on a downward spiral. You don't hear nothing about Rome in the news or anything like that, besides about the Pope. But we don't know. We can only have our perceptions of the future and what's going to occur And we all have our viewpoints on the Bible and from Bible prophecy and stuff. That's why you got so much division in churches, and why you have all these different denominations of what's going to happen and this and that, and their viewpoints and standpoints. They think one's right, one's wrong, this one's right, that one's wrong, and nobody really knows, because people's forgetting that we must